Begin.
Hello, everybody. Before I begin, let's introduce myself. I'm Garba Hamadou. I'm an English as a foreign language teacher and an English for a specific purpose, teacher and an administrator also. Today, I'm going to talk about how to use Google Doc to facilitate collaborative learning in a EFL classroom. Next slide, please. The session plan, what I'm going to talk about after the introduction is to define what is collaborative learning, Google Doc, what is it and how it is beneficial to collaborative learning, use of Google Doc to promote language, after that use of Google Doc to promote language skills and the 21st century skills, and then we will go to the conclusion. Uh, I would like to talk about the next, please, the introduction. Technology today has played an important role in teaching and learning. Its integration in EFL classrooms has driven teachers and learners to achieve meaningful learning. What I would like to say about this point is that using technologies has not only changed the way that teachers teach any subject, but also how a student learn a subject, but it's improved teaching and learning condition, which drew a big outcome from the both side teachers and learners. That makes a student to be engaged in language development and has promote the language development that will promote the development of the 21st century skills. Next, please. Collaborative learning. What do you mean by collaborative learning? Research has defined collaborative learning broadly as a condition in which a group of learners, two or more, come together to learn a continuous activity intended to do or to accomplish something. Like collaborative learning is like just putting a student in a group regarding to a subject that they are going to learn through engagement and how they can learn from each other to share experience in order to accomplish something new or to improve something that exists already. Depending, this definition was broadly defined depending on the following three terms. Two or more. What do you mean by two or more? It can be a group of two or three students. It can be a society of 100 people, or it can be more than that. Learning something is to engage, to learn a class material, or to share experience regarding a research point. Coming together means they can be face to face, or they can be on platform or whatever it may be. Next slide, please. Slide, please. Collaborative learning is an educational approach to teaching and learning. It involves group of learners working together, solving a problem, as I said it previously, or completed a task, create a product according to Debugger 1999. In this, creating a product or completing a task, it's always depending on how you will like your student to be engaged in your class activities. When you want your student to create something new or a product, let the ideas come from them as a student and in collaboration with each other, share their experience and also give feedback if possible, or give talk about their thoughts. What do you think of what you are doing or the way they can improve the way they are doing that? The next, please. Academic benefits. Collaborative learning has some benefits. The first, it engages critical thinking skill improvement. What do you mean by critical thinking improvement is it give a student courage to learn something new and to be able to analyze these things to see how they can improve or how they can implement these things in their real life. It engages learning in the, it also engages learner dynamically in their learning process. In this way, also collaborative learning encourage a student to learn by themselves and create a style of learning in which they can learn fastly and effectively. In general, when the students reach that point, the outcome of the classes or the lesson touch is well assimilated, well understood, and they can think about out, or they can think also out of the box to see ways in which they can implement this new or this new idea learn or these new methods learn in their real life. One of the most beneficial, academic beneficial of collaborative learning is that it models appropriate student problem solving techniques. It let it allow a student to learn from themselves or from each other techniques that are used to solve any kind of problem relative to teaching and relative to learning. The next slide, please. Collaborative learning can help with personalized lecture. In this case, when lectures are very large, lectures can be personalized. Like when you have a huge lesson, you can make it, personalize it, depending on your student or depending on the way that you want to teach this lesson. Motivate students on a specific topic. When collaborative learning is used as a teaching approach, it motivates a student on a specific topic. It's alternating a student and teacher assignment technique and use variety of assessments according to Lang and Goshi 2019. In here, what I would like to point out is that the role of the teacher in collaborative. As a teacher, our role can be played by a student when trying to learn concepts relative to teaching, like a role play as a teacher. The next slide, please. This point is the one of the key points of my presentation. Previously, I have talked about collaborative learning, and I would like to remind again that how do you use Google Doc in collaborative learning? Google Doc is a free online program that users can use. It's allowed to create documents online, to make online presentation, to share document with other to collaborate. How to create a document online is very simple here when you still just have a Google Doc or you have a Google Gmail account, or you can have just access to the address of Google Doc. To make the presentation, you just need to have the slash on which you will define the subject on which either with the student to collaborate and has a teacher you are supervising, and you also you can share an idea and ask a student to participate. Through the collaboration, also after that, you can share the same document with other like other student or also other teacher to get feedback. Next slide, please. The features of collaborative learning. Sorry, the features of Google Doc. As you can see, Google Doc has some main feature. The research feature, okay? Google Doc has some main feature. The research main docs that's in which you can find uh, doc, the sheet slides form, the setting and the health feedback. The main uh, the main feature also in which you have also other characteristic. The next slide, please. Google Doc app. Here, sorry, I would like to talk about how to introduce also Google Doc in the class, in your class. The most important moment that you can introduce Google Doc is at the beginning of a year or of the semester. At that time, students are enthusiastic, they are engaged to learn something new. And make sure that every of your students has access to Google either on his telephone or a computer which have access to internet. Google Doc has also, coming back to feature, Google Doc, we have the mail, the map, the Google Drive or the Drive. They start a new document and template section and the recent section. And it is what you can see here. Next, please. The bar menu, the menu bar, the menu bar is composed of file, is composed of the menu file in which you can see, you can have a new, sorry, a new slide. You have the additional menu, the review menu, the insert menu, and the format. The most important here has for teachers is the file menu in which you can share your document. You can share your document also by this point where you see the cursor is on. By sharing the document, you have different options. You can share just for collaborator to view, like for just viewer, if I can say that. You can share for by editing, and you can share also for collaboration. Okay. The next slide, please. Beneficial benefits an example. Here is an example. I would like to show you how it works. You see here we have the Google document menu in which we have the doc, the sheet, the slide, the format, the setting, and the help and the driver. And also apart from that, you have a blank sheet that you most probably is the one that you use for your class activity. If you want template also, we have the resume template, the letter template, the proposal sorry, proposal and brochure. The gallery is here, but at the right corner, you have the main menu of the app in which you have the Play Store, the research, and from there, it's easier to get access to Google Docs just by clicking on Docs. Now, when you open a new blank sheet, the first things that you have to do is to rename your document. Example, here, you can just go for here, okay. You can just go for 5. After 5, go for 5, and after 5, you make remind, and you will see. Let's take an example. I can say a writing project. Writing, sorry. Okay, writing, and do you see automatically one of the most important is automatically that is going to save whatever you do. And in here also, you can write whatever you want, okay? Hello, everybody. Okay. Oh, sorry. They say, and here you can write whatever you want. And after the file, you can also open a new doc here. Okay, you can send to email this file. You can download, make it offline. Revision is history. In here, when you click on the revision history, you will see those who you have invited or has collaborator to in what time do they intervene and what they write about. Okay, and after that you come to editing menu. You have the undo, the past, etc. These figures are similar to Word, Microsoft Word document, but the most important thing that you should let your student know that it doesn't have all the features of Microsoft Word. The review, when you want to review something or when you want to print out or to do what, or when you want to use the document for free scan. The insertion menu, in here, you can insert image, you can insert a table, you can draw, you can insert a chart, line, etc. Okay, and also here you can also insert a link when you want to publish your document on a network. The format tool also that is has the writing style characteristic and how you want to organize your file, your document, page number, or orientation. One of the most important that I really love in the tool section is the voice typing one. Here, even though that others like grammar, spelling and grammar, word counting, comparing documents, citation are also very important. Exactly, citation. When you are using citation in this section, you will see that you can use the writing style that you want, MLA, APA, or Chicago, depending on your research usage, like for citation. Let's come back to the tools also. Again, like I was saying, the voice typing is one of the most important. I find it important because here a student can use it and to speak something and to see how it is written. Or they can also use it for, we can also use it in teaching, speaking, and listening activity also as a teacher. These are few things that I would like to share in the question and ask in the answer and question session. You will talk more about that. Can you move to the next slide, please?
Go.
Okay, the beneficial to collaborative learning. Collaborative learning has, I said it before, with Google Doc is a student or whoever you are has a teacher or a student, you can work on a file anywhere and at any time. Like when you have a project, depending on your availability as a teacher or a student, you can have access to the document, write what you want to write, or make changes that you want to make on the document, and automatically others will see it on their side because you are writing on the same sheet of paper, and everyone can do it at any time. The one of the greatest benefit is also that you will have feedback from multiple people. It may be your teacher, it may be your colleague, or it may be between a student. It can be also another the feedback of your student. Using Google Doc for writing is something beneficial also that make the full writing process visible, including revision history. On that point, what I would like to say is that when you are using Google Doc for writing project or whatever it is, your input or what you have written is automatically recording with the time on your name, and they will put it in the review history. You can analyze also quickly different data depending on maybe a research as a teacher, or comparing a student fourth year, or comparing a student grade quickly. The next slide, please. We can also organizing data with Google Doc. We can share data. You can also publishing document for invitation, review, or editing. As I said it previously, like you can invite your colleague to just view as a viewer, as an editor, or have a collaborator, depending on the project that you are working on. At the same time, also, you can upload and download various file format documents. You can upload whatever you want and download whatever you want in terms of teaching and writing a lesson plan, a lesson and exercise, or an assignment, etc. The next slide, please. Sharing the work between the teachers and the students. This is something also great. Collaboration on assignment, saving assignment online, easy access to document at home and at a school. Wherever you have, the greatest beneficial is that you can have access to your document, either you are at home or you are at a school. The next slide, please. Let's continue talking about the same beneficial for collaborative learning point. Collaborative feature, we can use the collaborate for peer working editing. Here, you can just decide to make the student work, for example, on a book or whatever it is, and ask them to work together and to have feedback to make something great. Engaging in peer reviewing, collaborative book reports. You can also ask your students, either in group or in pair, to work about, to read a book and to make the report together. It may be a presentation or whatever as a teacher you want. Collaborative creativity, a writing project in which you will ask your student to work and to write an idea coming from them. There they can create, upload also as a student from any device. It can be a computer, it can be a lap, it can be a computer, it can be a tablet or a cell phone. Maybe also use. Next slide, please. Has beneficial to collaborative learning has a technological tool. Google Doc is used to promote language skills. The use of Google Doc nowadays is really very important because when as a teacher we need to use Google Doc in our classroom, be sure that we give our students a great opportunities in improving their reading skills, writing skills, uh, listening and speaking skills. Also, apart from that, there are some skills like grammar, vocabulary, and spelling that they are also improving. In addition to all these benefits, it draw them to war the 21st century skills that we call the four C's: creativity, communication, collaboration, and critical thinking and problem solving, also depending on the level of your student. When you are using Google Doc, all these skills are improved through the use of Google Doc. According to also Strada 2016. The next slide, please. Use of Google Docs in the EFL classroom. It promotes language skills. It addresses the 21st skills, as I have said, in the education, that are communication, critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration. Uh, Creativity, innovation, communication, critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration. According to Estrada 2016, these are the 1 point, or I can say, these are the skills that have been considered like for our students, the 21st century skills on which we can focus our learners, our teaching and learners to be providing the development of these skills. Next slide, please. Google Doc has a pedagogical usage. Here, I would like to talk about the use of Google Doc as a pedagogical tools. The case study is from Patricia, for which he in his research or in his article or in the article that I took as an example. In this article, there were more than two example, but I just prefer to take the two. One, what we call using Google Doc through writing a journal and a personnel improvement call that we called We Are the Teacher. The teaching activities used there, and these are the teaching activities that he used, that have been used: writing journal and an activity that's called personal improvement called teaching activities, learning skills, and some skills have also been in this context developed, which integrate, which have been done through the 21st skill development. Next slide, please. These are examples, like the writing journal is focused on writing, reading, and spelling, and the 21st century that are involved with critical thinking, creativity, and communication. In this project, the next slide, please. In this project, the students have been given the chance to choose one subject according to the time. They have to write 2 or 3 paragraphs on the subject. It depends on which level of development you want to give to your students. Uh, it may be writing a paragraph for all the collaborators, just one paragraph per week, and edit the other paragraph, and the edition history can be seen here by this side. The next, please. The second example is we are the teachers. The language skill developed is reading, writing, reading, listening, grammar, and spelling and vocabulary. It also focuses on the critical thinking, has a 21st century skill communication and innovation. In this project, the next slide, please, the teacher has chosen the role, giving the role to the student to act as a teacher, teaching a grammar point or teaching a vocabulary point or writing a paragraph depending on the lesson that you are teaching objective. And like the previously, you can see also the history revision here on the left side, on the right side on the screen, that each student that have been intervened, the time is recording and what he have, what is time the input have been done is also recorded. The next slide, please. To conclude, I would like to point to say, why should you use Google Doc? The effective use of technology, like we all know, tools in EFL classes, and particularly Google Docs serve to promote language acquisition in creativity and collaborative situation that best satisfies a student learning needs. Most importantly, as a teacher, what we should understand is, of course, technology tools are very important, but we can reach our objective if only we have one plan and use technology tools according to our student need. Planning, teaching, and learning activities with Google Doc is significantly effective only if the activity make a student engage in the learning process. Thank you very much. This is the end of the presentation.